What's up, freak bitches, wherever you may be, however you may be watching? Thank you for giving us just a little bit of your time. A whole lot to go into about this Spider-Man trailer reaction, and although Lady Cora's not here tonight, she had something come up. She wasn't able to join us. We know she's going to do well at that, though. But here with me is my hetero life mate, Jeremy. What's going on with you today, my brother? Yeah, you're here. Yeah, you're here once again. The proper colors going on with the LEDs in the background because we do have a whole lot of Spider-Man talk to go into in breaking down that crazy second trailer for Spider-Man: No Way Home. But before we get to that, there is one piece of news I wanted to get to before that. Now, let me see. Let me pull the stuff up here, and that is about Lethal Weapon Part 5. And if you can believe it, yes, it's actually happening. Where did I go with my lead-ins? I did not have those up. I had my other notes up that are not that I need. See, this is what happens when I change a bunch of things around at the last second. I thought I had them up here, but I did not. I had the wrong document up on Google Docs, so I was not prepared. But now I have them up. Eventually, come on. I do have that on the screen, but now, wow, computer's being awfully slow today. I thought I had my computer needs, but apparently it's going to be a pain in the ass. So this has been a wonderful start to the show. But thank you, JCS Footer, for coming in. Van Edwards, what's going on? Rachel's in here as always. What's going on with Rachel? Let's see, and here we go. Now, one of the franchises that has been long rumored for another installment is the Lethal Weapon series. Although, with the unfortunate death of franchise stalwart and director Richard Donner, it seemed like the fifth installment would never happen. But fear not, as Martin Riggs himself is stepping up. Apple News has reported that Mel Gibson himself will be stepping into the director's role. Jeremy, what do you think of the idea of Mel Gibson directing Lethal Weapon 3? Do you think we even need the movie at this point? I mean, like 5. You see, I'm not used to things going to a 5th. It seems so weird. True. True. Yeah. Jesus Christ, see, I was really, really confused with everything as I got started. Now you can hear Jeremy. Say what you were saying all over again.
Thanks, Mel Gibson. Thanks for stepping up. You're doing a great job. I'm glad you decided to become a director in the last 10 years. You know, good thing you're one of the fucking main stars of this, too. Good job.
Well, it makes sense to me that he directs it because, I mean, you say he is one of the main stars, so he knows this franchise as well as anybody possibly could.
Yeah.
But the thing about Gibson stepping into the director's chair, though, is it actually sounds like an awesome idea when you think about how good he's been as a director.
I mean, he's done well for himself. That's what I'm saying. Like he's not a bad director. So, and again, being the main star, and you can definitely, I would trust this more than most things.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull in credits real quick because I know he's done like Apocalypto, which was a very interesting movie. I didn't think it was a great movie, but it was definitely very interesting. Let me go pull up some of his. He did The Man Without a Face, which is he directed Braveheart. Mm-hmm. He directed The Passion of the Christ, which a lot of people love that movie. Pretty heavy movie. I thought it was a good movie, pretty heavy. He did Apocalypto, and he did Hacksaw Ridge, which was nominated for which got a nomination for Best Director. And if you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, that movie is phenomenal. It's one of the more interesting and probably the best war movies that has come out since at least
Saving Private Ryan, maybe.
Yeah, since Saving Private Ryan, I don't really consider Schindler's List a war movie as much as it's a very dramatic telling of this one particular moment in time. But
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, Braveheart. What, he won Best Director for Braveheart.
Mm-hmm.
He also won the Academy Award for, let's see, it said winner of Academy Award for Best Director, also producer, winner of Academy Award for Best Picture. So, I mean, that right there made a ton of money. Man Without a Face was very well received. Passion of the Christ made $370 million back in 2004. Apocalypto didn't make a whole lot of money, but artistically it was a very, very well done film. And, of course, he did Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield, who we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
I was say, is that your segue? That's a clever segue right there.
We're going to talk about him here in a little bit for a totally different project. But, yeah, he did that movie, which was phenomenal. I saw it a couple of times in theaters. He's also got this movie, he's expressed interest in the intention to direct a movie set during the Viking Age starring Leonardo DiCaprio. So that's...
Braveheart too.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, he's done a lot. I mean, the guy's proved himself as a director. He's proved himself to be an important part of this particular series. You know what? I'm kind of with it. I mean, it's unfortunate that Richard Donner passed away. Of course, he was very old, but I mean, look, if somebody else has to step in and make this happen, then why not? It seems like this is the most logical fit for this particular franchise to do a fifth one. Now, you're already going to run into the stuff of, well, how long can you really go between sequels again? That question's going to be asked.
I'm not on the edge of my seat about to just yell that out into the fucking stratosphere.
Yeah, I don't really know exactly how long it's been, and something just happened.
You know,
Emily K just subscribed. Thank you very much, Emily. We appreciate that.
Hey,
but yeah, this makes perfect sense. I mean, who else other than Danny Glover? It makes perfect sense. The only question to me is who's going to show up in this movie from the first four movies. Joe Pesci's already said that he's pretty much retired. They had to give him a hard sell to get him to come back for what's the one they just did on Netflix? With Pacino and De Niro. Why am I drawing a blank? The mob movie they did. Scorsese had to give him a hard sell to get him to come back for that. So I don't think that he's going to be in this one. I don't know if Chris Rock's going to be in this one. We have no idea what it would be about. But I mean, to be honest, it sounds fun. It sounds like a great idea, even if Richard Donner's not around. But, you know, whatever. I mean, you've got... These guys are seriously old now. Somebody had pointed out the other day that when... It was like a meme or something like that when Danny Glover was first said, I'm too old for this shit in the first movie, he was only like 41. And I'm 45 as I sit here right now.
Did you see the fucking sign? I've been sitting here itching to fucking make this joke. I'm like, so many times, I'm like, well, it's not Danny Glover, because guess what? Too old for this shit.
Yeah.
I had to put that up there. Come on.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
That's the funny part. But yeah, I'm kind of into this whole thing. The idea of him doing Lethal Weapon 5 is a good one to me. But I don't know. What are some of your final thoughts on this, Jeremy, before we get to the big talk about the whole Spider-Man trailer?
Stop making sequels 30 years in the fucking future! Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Look, I don't think it's a problem to make some of these sequels way after the fact. Look, you got to admit, as much as it aggravates some people that they make sequels to movies that came out 20 or 30 years ago, they've had kind of a mixed bag of success. Some of them have been really good and have been really well received. Some of them have tanked. But I mean, if it's good, it can be awesome. I mean, why wouldn't you be kind of excited about all this?
Because the movie is saying it's too old for this shit.
Well,
I'm gonna run that joke into the fucking ground. You know what? I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm glad you put up that picture of them from one of the older movies. If Mel Gibson does not bring back that beautiful ass mullet, I'm not about it. Because that seems to be the trend now. Is now the fucking like the Billy Ray looking fucking mullets are coming back. So maybe that's a joke because that's it's here, it's real.
It's here, it's real. He didn't have a mullet for the last movie, though.
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't watch. To be fair, I didn't watch all of them. I mean, maybe the first 3. I think I watched. I didn't even watch 4. No, wait. No, yeah, it was 3. I didn't watch 4.
it's highly unlikely that Jet Li is going to be back, since he's pretty much given up on acting too, and his character died. So, but remember, it was part 4 where he was introduced to American audiences. So part 4 is the film that gave us Jet Li in the United States. But but yeah, I'm down for this. I mean, look, yes, they've been kind of hit or miss with the sequels to movies that came out a long time ago. But if this one hits, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be all the kind of fun that we have with movies like The Expendables. It's just
because it's that kind of movie. I mean, it's a fun, was 80s kind of comedy action buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
it was one of the pinnacles of that. Yeah,
I
love their banter. I love the movies. I'm just like, I don't want it to be hit or miss. I don't want to sit here every time I see that. I just I audibly do that and I hold back like, You had the magic. It doesn't always carry. I don't know. I just don't want to ruin things.
Yeah, but seriously, but again, it's this idea of just going back to those mindless action buddy cop flicks. They're still fun. And I think you can do that now and be just fine. But again, the question is like, who comes back? I mean, Chris Rock could potentially come back and play some kind of a role. Jet Li won't. Again, Pesci, I don't know if you could talk him into coming back for this. Coming back for the for the Netflix gangster movie, The Irishman. I don't know why I was blanking the name. But coming back for The Irishman, I mean, if it takes Scorsese, Pacino, and De Niro in a mob movie to get him to come out of his self-imposed retirement, I don't think he's coming back for some goofy part in this movie. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
He could. Because this is one of the funner things that I've seen him in that didn't involve him being a mobster. So, and maybe he likes it enough to where he'll come back for some kind of a cameo. But
maybe.
Yeah, but I don't see him coming back. So yeah, you're looking at kind of a new story. Does Rene Russo come back? I would imagine Rene Russo's in this movie in some facet. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. And I hope you guys are too. Definitely go down in the comments below and let us know what you guys think. How excited are you to see Lethal Weapon 5 directed by the man with the mullet right there on your screen, Mel Gibson? I say, look, I'm totally fine with him losing the mullet. The mullet was a great look in the early 90s, in like 1990 or 91 or whatever. God, no, this movie came out like, what, 88?
I was in the 80s, late 80s?
A long time ago. Yeah, the mullet was fine in the late 80s. Now, no, he needs to lose it.
But that's what I'm saying. Trust me, it's come back. I've seen more mullets recently than I thought I'd ever see in my life. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's a trend. It's a trend. It goes in a circle. You know how these things work.
That's true.
I got to heckle a lot of fucking people in the haunted cave that I saw with mullets, and that's where I saw the majority of them.
Yeah, but think about the state that we live in, though. It's like
that's also fair.
Yeah.
Coming with a fucking corn cob shoved up his ass and a fucking wheat out of his fucking mouth, and he's got his stupid little mop top. I don't know.
No doubt. But yeah, go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think of Mel Gibson directing Lethal Weapon 5. Now, let's get to the really, really big talk, and that is the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. The much-anticipated second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, which dropped, I believe, Tuesday. We got to see a lot more of what the film has in store for audiences, and we did see some other things.
Kind of.
The trailer does confirm the appearance of most of the Sinister Six, but it does not confirm, however, whether or not Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will break through the multiverse. Jeremy, what are some of your quick initial thoughts on the trailer before we really start to break down some of these things?
Well, they're not just going to do that. I'm sure they fucking took them out or purposefully did not show them to us so that we actually get... And I'm fine with this. I know I always sound really negative and cynical, but I'm like, look, I understand the weird word, tactical reasons for not doing that. I always bring up the example of, from the movie Seven. If spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie by now, I don't know what you're doing with your life. They kept Kevin Spacey's name out of the credits on purpose so that when the big reveal came at the end that he was the killer, it was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Because you're looking for that kind of thing. And I know this is like the mid-90s. I know we had the internet, but I'm like, same thing with IMDb. Like, they purposefully take these things out of there because, we're all going to be looking for it. We're all going to be digging for it. Even in this trailer, and I know Tom Holland is look, I love Tom Holland, but stop ruining shit, dude. I watched just today. It him, Zendaya, and dude that plays his friend, they're all watching the trailer, and he cut himself. It's the big scene we always keep talking about with the lizard there. And it looks like they cut it now on purpose because I don't know who found it, but you see Spider-Man going in and you see the lizard getting kicked in the face in midair by absolutely nothing. And we're like, what the fuck was that? Who the fuck was that? And Tom Holland goes, wait, where's the... And he stops. And Zendaya even went like, you know, Tom caught himself. He's like, wait, where's the... And he stopped. I'm like, oh. So I have a feeling they're there. I don't know who. It was sweet seeing the villains, though. That shit was cool. I got chills when I heard Willem Dafoe's voice. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's a whole lot in this that just like wow. It's like, and you know what's funny? It's like I honestly expected them to go ahead and just reveal in this that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Nah.
I want her.
No. Yeah.
Well, did you?
They get a kid.
Did you see the pictures that John Campea released, and then quickly took back down off Twitter?
Yeah, right. Leaked.
One of them I'm pretty sure was bullshit.
Yeah.
I won't put. I actually have them. I won't put them up because I can't guarantee how authentic they are, and I don't want to be one of those dickheads. But one of them I'm fairly certain was fake, and I'll tell you what it was. It was a picture of the guy Cox that played Daredevil. I want to say Ronnie Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Ronnie Cox is the old actor that was in all the Beverly Hills Cop movies.
That's not.
It was a picture.
Get out of the '80s of the cop movies, damn it.
Yeah, it was a picture. It was a picture of Charlie Cox sitting at the kitchen table with Happy, Aunt May, and Peter. And this comes from that whole idea that because he's been outed as Spider-Man, that he's going to need a lawyer, and why not have the guy who we know is hanging around in New York doing lawyery stuff while he's also being a superhero at night, like
That's fair.
But that picture to me looked fake as shit. It looked photoshopped. It looked bad. The other picture that he put out and quickly took back down. This is the one that was much more interesting to me. It's in and of itself, it's not huge. It's a picture of all three Spider-Mans there in Spider-Man regalia, their full suits, and they all have their masks off. They're looking up at something, and the picture was them on some scaffolding, very much like what we saw in this trailer around the Statue of Liberty and the work that they're doing to the Statue of Liberty. That's the one that I kind of looked at and I was like, because that fit into a scene that is in this trailer. It fit very, very well into a scene that's in this trailer. So part of me is kind of like, I kind of wonder if that's actually going to be in there. Now, he said he also got some other pictures that he didn't release. I really want to see what those pictures have in them.
Well, you could very easily put that. You can put that as a background on a Photoshop picture. I don't know. I'm not trying to discredit it, but I'm just like, look, true. I think they get off. You know, they get off way too much about this. You know, they have the theater, and then you have the audience's reaction of everybody losing their fucking mind. Something wild happens. You know, Cap grabbed that goddamn hammer, and everyone was like, "My fucking god!" As soon as he said "assemble," like everyone just fucking jizzed in their pants, all collectively. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
why would you want to ruin that? That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with, you know what? Hold on to it. I know it's got to be killing you because, you know, they all know and they're all sworn to secrecy or they're going to kill your whole family because Disney, they don't do that. Just, I don't know, keep it under wraps. Like, it's just kind of more fun that way. You can give us stuff, you know, feed us this whole, you know, we saw, kind of saw Lizard, saw Sandman, saw a little more of Electro. Like, oh, the fuck was going on with that? Like, he had a full on, that was sweet.
He looks badass in this movie, too.
I think this might
what I wanted him to look like in the last time we saw him
right.
in the Garfield thing.
I think they're gonna do him right this time because I kind of feel like a little weird in that one. I'm like, all right, whatever. We've never seen Electro, so I was kind of excited for it. I just kind of let it be, and I hate that I just kind of let it happen that way. But I mean, holy shit, if that's what's coming, whoo, son.
Yeah, the whole trailer starts with this image that you guys can see at the bottom of the screen. I actually have it paused in the slideshow that I have set up. It starts out with this image of a very broken, very downtrodden Peter Parker, and that gives you an idea right off the jump how this movie, how he has described this movie and how it's going to look. He's referred to it as what did he say? Not heartbreaking, brutal. Brutal is what he said. And there was some brutal imagery that you see in here.
He looks like he's gotten the shit beat out of him. I'm like, damn. He must have gone.
He looks like he's gotten worked over a couple different points in this trailer. Now, one of the first things that we see is this one. This black-suited Spider-Man thing. Now,
yes.
Obviously, this is a Spider-Man suit that has been given some kind of powers by Doctor Strange.
It looked like it had the time, yeah, it had the weird time
tell
thing on it.
But it raises the question: is how do we know that if other Spider-Men are pulled into this particular universe, how do we know that all of them are good guys? How do we know that there isn't a Peter Parker out there that hasn't been like, you know what, screw it, I'm angry because Uncle Ben is not around anymore. I still think it's interesting that they've never really approached that yet. Maybe
Evil Spider-Man, that'd be cool.
Yeah, an evil Spider-Man would be kind of badass, and it would, would kind of show this
really
dichotomy of the duality of being a superhero and a regular person at the same time, and how sometimes those two things can clash. This would be a perfect way to kind of explore that clashing. I think it's 0% of the chance of that happening. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's Peter Parker. John Campea actually guessed that might be Doctor Strange in the Spider-Man outfit. I think that's a little much. I think it's Peter Parker. But there is something about that Spider-Man that is very interesting to me.
Yeah, and it's not without... You couldn't doubt that, like, maybe Doctor Strange gave him some sort of something to put in his suit, or, with how technically, minded Peter Parker is. I mean, he could have integrated something into his suit as well to help him. The only thing that kind of irks me about the trailer is when Doctor Strange says, like, that spell you botched. I was like, hold the fuck up, Steven. You fucked that up. You're the one that has the magic. What do you mean he fucked it up? Oh, hold on. Because I think even Mary Jane says, like, no, you fucked this up, dude. I'm like, yeah. Chill. He may have interfered and messed something up, but he is not the one who botched it, is the word he used. I'm like, no. You have the fucking time magic. Fuck you.
Yeah, I still think...
I'm
not saying that Doctor Strange is a bad guy. I'm not saying
no.
Over. I did hear somebody guess that maybe that it was a Skrull that was impersonating him, but I don't think a Skrull would have the ability to actually do any of the magic stuff, so I doubt that that's right. But there is something that's off about Doctor Strange in all this, because while he is a bit kind of off the cuff, a bit spontaneous with some of the things that he does, I don't think he would really need that warning like what we saw Wong give him in his first trailer, don't do the spell. I feel like that Doctor Strange would be the guy, and there are people out there that disagree, and that's fine. And I've listened to a lot of people say other things that I'm wrong on other YouTube channels and stuff, but the reality is I just don't think that Doctor Strange is that irresponsible now. I mean, even when he... Yeah,
it still seems like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Even when he first goes and gets his powers in the first Doctor Strange film, this wasn't something that he did spontaneously. It was something that he had tried a lot of different things. He had done a lot of research and looked into this thing before he even tried going to wherever the hell he went to get these powers and do what he had to do to get his...
Oh, he went to, like, Tibet or something.
So, yeah. I don't think that he would just be like, I'm going to do something crazy and wild. And, I'm going to go throw this spell out there. It's going to fuck with everybody's memory across the planet. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that he would do. So I wonder if he's either A, compromised somehow, or B, if this is really Doctor Strange. Now,
well, the other elephant in the room is like, why is his house or that little thing, why is it fucking iced over? Like, what happened? Hold on. Why does it always look like it's just covered in snow and ice? I'm like, wait a minute, when did you guys redecorate?
I'm sure they're going to explain that in the movie at some point, but it is really weird.
Maybe.
I'm sure that's more of just an aesthetic kind of background thing. But, yeah, it seems to me it's just really odd that Doctor Strange himself would have been like, dude, Peter, sorry about your luck, but I can't fucking do this because it's a really bad idea because of all the millions of reasons that I can list to you and probably a few million that I can't come up with as to why it's bad.
Does he not? I mean, what does it not fit into his character a little bit when you think about, like, before he got his powers, when he was still a surgeon, he seemed, I mean, like, if you were a brain surgeon and you were that good, or you'd be kind of cocky too. So maybe it's like, because then when he kind of fell off and he just lost everything, and he just kind of was like, well, life isn't worth living, and then he kind of got these powers, which then, it's like, now that's like his new... His arc of, okay, now I'm getting more into this, now I'm understanding this more, I'm getting this power more, I guess, so to speak, to my control. I know he hasn't fully... That's what I'm saying. Maybe he doesn't fully understand how to do everything yet. And this is that weird... That's his personality. It's his weird little, like, blind hubris coming back in, and it's all gonna blow up in his fucking face. Because he's kind of like, oh yeah, I can totally do this. Watch this shit. Watch me do some jitsu stuff. Boom. And then, then he's just gonna blame Peter for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. There's something about Doctor Strange that just isn't right. One of the next things I wanted the scenes I want to point out is, and there's one right there that we'll talk about real quick. Is I stopped it. I should have just replayed it. Is we do get that image of J.K. Simmons right there as
yeah.
again, and this might be the coolest things they could have done. I don't think it's really important to the story. It's just actually seeing him on the screen now.
It's important to us.
As J. Jonah Jameson, as JJ again. I was just happy to see that, just to see him in the trailer. I thought that was awesome. Also, I mean that, and the one that's on the screen now is it looks like that Dr. Octopus is going to get a piece of that nano suit that of the Iron Spider suit, and it's going to somehow integrate into his shit. I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's a whole other level of badass for Doc.
I was like, wait a minute, why is this shit turning red? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that's a fun one. That's a fun thing to see.
While we're on the subject of Doc Ock, I mean, remember, he's not really a bad guy, so to speak. It was the arms that was controlling it because the inhibitor chip broke, and it it fused into his spine, and basically he was at the mercy of these arms. So he himself is kind of a weird gray, like, not anti-hero, but like kind of a reluctant villain, I guess, in a way. So I mean, like, I like that in some of these scenes. It kind of seems like I'm sure they had their fight, but then like he's in the room with Spider-Man and Mary Jane and shit, and he's just talking to him. I was like, maybe they kind of had all right, hold on, like, let's chill here for a sec. Because there's that scene where he looks at him and he goes like, you're not Peter Parker. And I was like, the one you know. Right.
Yeah, the one you know.
Maybe the one you know. But because I'm like, maybe because remember, he's pretty scientifically minded as well. Maybe he will try to help him in a way or something. I'd be okay with that. They kind of did they did like a weird little team up, maybe trying to see how they can fix this, because he's probably just as confused as everyone else is. Like, wait, why am I here? What happened? Yeah,
the interesting thing about Otto Octavius coming into the picture at all in this movie is that while Spider-Man and Doc Ock are kind of at odds, Otto Octavius has this kind of kinship for Peter. And look, think about the last time we saw Dr. Octopus on film in Spider-Man 2. He had pulled all this shit apart to save Peter. He realized that he was not doing the right thing, and the important thing in the moment was to save Peter. So
and he fucking told the arms off. He was like, "No, you listen to me now." I was like, "Oh shit, here it goes."
Yeah, so obviously he has this. He has this positive opinion of Peter and doesn't want to hurt him. So when he sees, he's like, "Hey, you're not the Peter that I know." Yeah, you're not the Peter that I know. But he's still is probably gonna understand that this is, at his core, it's the same Peter Parker. He's this kid that's just trying to do the right thing. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
He's still trying to come into his own. So I have a feeling like, and in that final scene where, and we'll talk about that in a minute, where Sandman, Lizard, and what's his name, Electro are going against Spider-Man. A lot of the people are saying that the other two Spider-Mans have been removed from that
digitally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no way he's finding them by himself. I'm like, that'd be sweet.
There's this theory out there that it might not be that either one or both of these people that are in that scene that have been digitally removed, that one of them is Doc Ock. Because there is that really quick blink and you'll miss it scene where Electro is shooting his fucking energy whatever at Dr. Octopus. So it may be that Doc Ock actually makes, to use the wrestling term, a face turn, and he kind of partners up with Peter. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always like that. And then seeing this, I mean, when we saw that first one, I was kind of just like, okay. I mean, hey, if we're gonna do, Doc Ock versus Spider-Man, I'm fine with that. But then seeing this more, I kind of realized, yeah, that is his character. I'm like, he doesn't he doesn't dislike Peter, so I could see him trying to want to do the right thing here. I think the thing is, I mean, doesn't Strange say to him, like, every single one of these guys that faces Spider-Man has died. That's just the way it is. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh no, because I'm thinking maybe he did get this little friendship. This Peter Parker now has a friendship with this Doc Ock, and maybe he's thinking, oh wait, does that mean he has to die now? Like, that might be a conflict in the movie somewhere where you may have to make a hard choice there, or find some way to send them back. I don't know, like whatever's gonna
Well, and I think, and this is another one that is made very, very clear over the course of this trailer, is that Peter and Doctor Strange are going to end up at odds at some point in this movie too.
Saw that, yeah.
Because he does. They do have this moment where he tells him, he's like, "Look, the whole point, these guys, their destiny was to die fighting Spider-Man." He's like, so and I'm guessing that it's going to explain it farther in the movie, but I'm guessing that at some point in the movie it's going to say, for us to right everything that we've gotten wrong by messing with the spell and time and memory and all that, that these guys have to either go back and die, face their destiny, and actually die, or we have to kill them or something like that. I'm guessing that he wants to send them back to their dimension, to their deaths eventually, and Peter has a problem with that because Peter doesn't want people to die because he's the nice guy. And that's what's going to be the main source of conflict between him and Stephen Strange, is that Doctor Strange knows this has to happen, and Peter's trying to find some other way. And I think that's what leads to that whole thing in the train and the fucking canyons with the bunch of trains circling around, all that stuff. We finally got a bit of a look as to what's going to cause that conflict. What do you kind of think of that? This conflict between Stephen Strange and Spider-Man.
It was a little. I mean, not that my jaw wasn't on the floor the whole fucking time, because that's to be expected. I mean, when I saw that, I was kind of like, oh shit, like, oh no, they're about to fucking start fighting now too. Like, oh no, I couldn't quite tell. I don't know if you have a screen grab of it. Whatever he was holding, he had like some sort of box or a book or something he was holding, and he does that little slow motion where you out of body experiences your ass out of your whatever. It's a sweet shot. I mean, I'm not gonna say it doesn't get repetitive to me. I just think it's funny and it's kind of cool because that's an oh shit moment. Like where it's like, okay, stop. We're having a timeout. We're gonna talk. So I don't know. He looks like he tried to take off of something. Maybe it was something important to this whole interdimensional travel thing, and then he like just went to grab it, and he just Strange pulled him back and stopped him. I was like, oh. On top of everything, now he's got to deal with this. Now he's got to deal with Doctor Strange. Just, I don't know. They might have conflicting moral dilemmas of how to do this. That's a good point. So I don't know. I get Peter's a good guy, but it's like, I don't know how you don't have that weird kind of disconnect where you're like, well, this isn't my universe. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to get, like I said, he's not developed a friendship with Doc Ock. And then you get attached to him, and then you're kind of like, ah, crap, I don't want this guy to die. Like, I'm going to send him back knowing he's going to, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a lesson that he's about to learn that you can't save everyone. Because, I mean, now I just realized, didn't they say that somewhere in the trailer? You can't save everybody, and then this is the classic fucking trope. Here goes fucking Mary Jane, or the girl, whoever. Ooh, she's falling. And every damn time. Now, hopefully she doesn't get fucking Gwen Stacy. That would kind of suck.
That's another thing that has kind of come up, like some of all this. Is there was I think I got a picture of it, and that's a picture of Electro, which is really badass. And of course, we're very happy to see the Green Goblin back.
Yes.
I don't know if I got a. There it is, right there, the picture of the glove. So a friend of mine did point out, and a lot of people were talking about it online today, that this glove that you see right there, reaching out for MJ's hand, it doesn't look like the Iron Spider suit. So while the editing of the trailer looks like, Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man is diving down to try to get her, a lot of people think this is going to be like a redemption moment for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Because there's a cut that's been...
That would be sweet,
and I don't know if you've seen this, Jeremy. There's this cut that's going around, that's been working its way around Twitter, where somebody has kind of edited together their own trailer, which this level of editing over the course of like 24 hours to me is astonishing. But they edit in like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man diving down there, and while in that split second, he's seeing in his mind the moment where Gwen Stacy's falling and him going through all that again, and you see him reaching out to Zendaya's MJ, but in the reflection in his glasses, you see the whole Emma Stone thing unfolding, and that this is going to be a redemption moment for him, where he's going to save this version of MJ, where he couldn't save his version of what's her name?
Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy, yeah. So I think that's a really cool theory. What do you think of that?
That would actually be pretty sweet. Now I'm looking at that glove, like I think that does look like Andrew Garfield. It's definitely not Tobey Maguire, and I don't think that's Tom Holland's. For one thing, it almost looks like a fucking Miles Morales hand, and I mean, fucking why not at this point? But Still, yeah, that'd be kind of cool because I'm sure, yeah, that's a big thing for his Spider-Man. Like, man, he didn't get to save her in the end, which sucks. I don't know. I don't know what Tobey Maguire has to. Actually, you know what? That would be kind of awkward if he because we have Willem Dafoe in this thing, and if he comes back and he's like, wait a goddamn second, hold on, didn't you get stabbed? I don't know. He's got a weird thing where fucking Harry dies, so I thought maybe this is a weird. Okay, wait. He's like, maybe this could be different because I didn't kill you. Hey, you know what? Maybe that would change that timeline if they go back and he doesn't end up killing him or something. Willem Dafoe's Goblin is still alive because it didn't end the same way. What does that do for you?
Yeah.
It doesn't fix the emo Spider Peter Parker, but again, talk about that. I was gonna say, in terms of redemption, I'm like, he never paid that damn rent, and we can't get that damn emo Peter Parker out of our head. So you got a lot to to bounce back from there, McGuire.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that actually want that guy, that Russian actor that played his landlord in there. they just want
just
him,
for a second.
They just want him to pop in for a minute and say rent.
Rent.
I would love to like just for that one. I don't care how out of place you have to make it look. Just like he walks by, he looks around at all of them, and goes rent, and he's uses the rest of us seeing all the Spider-Man standing there.
Well, no, you know what you could do? Like maybe because if Tobey Maguire's going to be in this, like. Maybe he goes to like knock on his door and you see that same apartment, he pokes his head and he goes, rent? And he's just gone. It's like, oh, then boom, there went Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He got sucked out right at that moment to have rent. And he's just like, damn! Parker!
If it's in there in any facet, in any way, it's just fine. I would have no problems with it at all.
Totally fine with that. Oh, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have any problem with that at all. I'm trying to get this thing.
I wonder, has,
they're doing it differently now. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Just thinking of the girls too. I'm like, is Emma Stone been pretty quiet about this? What about
Emma Stone has flat out said in no uncertain terms that she's not in this film.
Well, so is fucking Andrew Garfield. So fuck him. Well, you know, everyone's like, he's not in the movie. Stop asking. I'm like, but is he though? Because I think you're just lying to me. Because I'm sure he's getting sick of being asked. Like,
well, I think even what's her name?
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. Yes. Too many names to track of anymore. I'm getting too old to keep.
I know.
Stuff. But even she has said that she's not in the movie. They said they never asked her. She's not in the movie, and it wasn't even like coy answers. I mean, she's been saying for several months now that she is just.
I don't know. You got to keep this shit private for a fucking long time, and
well, that's
to play devil's advocate. Don't you say don't believe an actor? They lie for a living.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I don't think there's a place for the other women in here, though. I mean, I don't want.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to sound sexist because that's not at all what I mean.
No.
I don't think there's a place for Gwen Stacy and for the other MJ in this.
I was just thinking, like, I don't know if like maybe that facet comes into it because I know really our focus is his Zendaya's Mary Jane, and I'm fine with that. I just didn't know if the other ones were going to come in any sort of fashion.
And this movie's already crowded as fuck. I mean,
well, yeah, you don't want to also try and put Sally Field in there to have another Aunt May. It's like, okay, no, stop.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, this movie is already so crowded. I mean, this is getting to be like Endgame crowded.
Yeah.
So
that shot right there, if we can talk about that for a second, with the purple wibbly woos in the sky. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Because Stranger's like, they're all coming through, and I can't stop them. I'm like, ooh, what are you talking about, dude? What are you freaking out for? Like, was it all about the collapse in on itself, or like what was that? Because I don't know. So that was something that I'm kind of just like, what was that? What happened? What's going on?
Yeah, I let me get back. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the giveaway set up that we can do later on.
No, it's fine. I could sit here and bullshit about more stuff.
but yeah, let me get out of studio mode and go back to this thing so I can pick. You see, and this one right here is one that kind of this image right here. Now, I think what I've heard this makes sense. But they said that while Willem Dafoe is coming back into this, and he's going to at least start out as the Green Goblin that we've always known, that this image right here is going to be a kind of suit that he puts together over the course of the film. Because when I first saw this image, I was like, wait a minute, I had to play this back at like quarter speed just to get a good look at it. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not. You can actually see his face. So if is that Hobgoblin? Is that another version of Green Goblin that we haven't seen yet? I'm like, who is this? Now I've heard a lot.
James Franco.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to bring James Franco out of this. he's got some other stuff going on right now. But,
I know.
But what I've read is that the Green Goblin will actually alter his look to be more like what we've seen in like some of the comics and some of the animated stuff. It's going to be the hood and the goggles rather than that full face mask thing that he's got. I actually kind of like the full face mask thing, the Green Goblin.
I do too.
A couple of movies.
It's good that look. But I like it. It looks like a fucking goblin. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not the same, but they switched it up back in, what was that, 2001 or whenever the first movie came out. So I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
Terrified the fuck out of me as a kid.
Yeah, but in that brief little moment right here, I actually was like, wait a minute, who the hell is that? And I thought for a minute that we would get Hobgoblin. There's this rumor that Ned's going to become Hobgoblin. I don't really know about all that. You're going to have to do some fancy writing tricks to make that happen in a way that makes sense. But it's entirely possible.
Yeah, because it's
supposed to be one of the... And this scene right here. Honestly, look, I know the lizard's in this picture right here, and it's pretty unmistakable that it's him. The first trailer, everybody was like, there's a lizard, there's a lizard. I did not see the lizard in that at all.
I didn't either.
I have no idea what the hell people were seeing that were like, the lizard's in this. Now, maybe
they were
saying that because they heard something that maybe I hadn't heard yet, but I did not see any hint of the lizard in that first trailer at all.
Maybe, well, see, that's why I sent you that picture where it's just like, every little single fucking thing was everything that you could ever possibly see ever. I'm like, yeah, okay, calm down, guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I told you, Mephisto, it's in there.
Well, somebody had even
You didn't look hard enough.
Yeah,
It's a sailboat.
Somebody had even theorized that Mephisto is the one that's actually pretending to be Doctor Strange. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna insert him somewhere, I mean, I guess you could insert him into the universe here, but yeah, whatever. Let me go to the chat real quick, see what some of these guys are saying. JCS Footrub says, Richard Parker? Did I say Richard Parker, or are you guessing Richard Parker? I don't really know.
Or is it like, you could say Peter, which is also like a Dick, and Dick is Richard. Is that what he's trying to say?
Maybe.
Is that a joke?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's funny if you think about that.
Peter tingles.
A couple people asked me where Cora was. She had something come up right before we started to film that she couldn't get away from, but she'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Takes care of that. Let's see. Alex the Garbage Man, they're actually going live. They're actually live right now, believe it or not. He says, Lethal Weapon 5, The Passion of the Rigs. Yeah? I'm okay with that. Let's see.
And the Road Warrior?
Yeah.
Thunderdome?
And the Road Warrior. JCS Footrub says 6 Spidey suits. Yeah, there's like 3 Spider-Man suits in this trailer alone. There's the dark one that we still don't know what's going on.
The black and gold time travel one. Yeah, the Iron Spider.
He's got the Iron Spider, and then he's got the one that looks like the one that he designed in the last movie on the airplane. So
yes.
I don't really know. I'm assuming that he probably loses the Iron Spider suit once he realizes that either that Doc Ock can use the nanotech, or that maybe even Doc Ock just takes it all from him anyway.
Yeah, because I'm like, didn't he have that on when he fought him? So maybe that's the thing, that it might get wrecked a little bit by that. So I don't know if it's going to be an issue.
Alex the Garbage Man says the best thing about this trailer, Alfred Molina. Dude, Alfred Molina looks so good. Like,
he's still he can rock it still.
He doesn't look like he's aged today.
No.
Now maybe that's some trickery. I mean, Marvel does use that de-aging software, but he still looks fucking good. Alfred Molina's still a boss.
I still don't care. I love it.
He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He says, JCS Footrub says, I hope he has a 2099 Spidey suit. I don't think they're going to do that. I think before they do the 2099 Spider-Man kind of thing, they're going to end up doing Miles Morales before that.
Right, that's fair.
Because somebody did mention on the John Campea show earlier today the concept of having like maybe Marvel doing something like what DC's doing with the different Batman iterations, which I still think is a terrible idea, but like also doing kind of in its own little separate thing, its own little pocket, the Spider-Man 2099 thing, and having Tobey Maguire playing like a 50-year-old Spider-Man and doing stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think Marvel wants to have. Well, it wouldn't be Marvel; it would be Sony. But I still don't think Sony's going to go that route of having 2 or 3 different incarnations of the same character going at the same time. I think DC is making a big mistake doing that in the long run. I think one's definitely going to outshine all whatever else they got going on. But that's just me. That's
what about What about? Okay, hold on. You saw the Carnage movie, yes?
Yes.
What about that end credit scene? I know we are crowded as shit in here. It's standing room only, but what if fucking Tom Hardy fucking came in this bitch?
Oh, he's going to be in this movie. I have no doubt.
Okay.
I'm 100% that he's going to be in this film at some point. The question is how big of a role is it going to be? I personally think it's going to be a post-credit thing. But when they were talking about how big this trailer was going to be and some of the shocks that we might get out of it, I honestly thought that one of the shocks that we were going to get is that there was going to be this one moment where Spider-Man lands in his superhero landing and looks up, and face to face, we're going to see Spider-Man and Venom. And I was like,
that would be sick.
That would be a banging way to have ended that trailer. But again, I don't know how. I personally think that Venom's going to be in a post-credit scene here, where there's going to be like some moment where all is said and done, and Tobey Maguire's walking down the street or even swinging around as Spider-Man or something. Who the hell knows? And that he's going to run into Venom in like a post-credit scene or at the very end of the movie in like the end stinger. And that there's going to be a piece of dialogue or two that gives you an idea of what's coming, and that's going to be it. That's going to be where it ends.
You could do the funny thing is you could mirror that with Doc Ock. Like, you're not Eddie Brock. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but that's going to happen at some point in the movie, I think. But again, how big that moment's going to be, I won't know. None of us are going to know we'll know in about a month. Lorenzo214 says, Movie Insider, Daniel Richman had first revealed that both Maguire and Garfield would have 30 minutes of screen time. Still a lot of screen time. That is a lot of screen time.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be there for the whole fucking movie. No, I'm like, they'll be in there for something or some part of it. I mean, this is Tom Holland's movie. I'm sure they'll be there, but it's not like they're taking the whole, the reins.
Let me find that. So that scene right there with the Statue of Liberty in the foreground and the stuff starting to break up all around in there. There's a couple of things that I realized and other YouTubers have pointed out over the last couple of days. Number one, don't those little rifts in the sky, don't they look a lot like Spider-Man colors? You've got that blue, purplish thing and the red kind of at the ends. So maybe that's kind of an indication that this moment right here is where the other Spider-Men will pop into the universe. I mean, what do you think of that theory?
Well, take this way. For all you Doctor Who fans, you know exactly what that shape looks like in terms of time and space. That's a rift in that motherfucker, if I ever saw one. Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's where we hear Strange yell, like, they're all coming through and I can't stop them. I'm like, okay. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Well, to me, it almost looks like that shit from Loki, like when the multiverse was like in the middle of space is all just like branching out and shit. The timeline was all just doing its thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I know this is all supposed to tie in somehow, because it's Marvel. It's all connected.
Yeah.
So, maybe, I don't know.
But I wonder at what point... I don't think this is the final battle in the movie, either. I know that...
No.
I think they bill it in the trailer kind of like it's the culmination of the whole movie. I gotta be honest, I don't think this is the final battle. I think this happens somewhere in like the second act. And this is where...
this could be the build-up.
Spider-Man come in.
Yeah, because you want to have them come... I almost said swing in. Swing in like the last like 30 minutes of the movie. Or something for the big showdown to come in there and be like, Spider-Man, assemble! And then fucking, I don't know, do your thing.
Somebody had also put together a cut of a different part of the trailer, that one where Spider-Man comes down and lands in the Statue of Liberty's head. Somebody had also cut in the other two Spider-Man, what it would look like if they kind of landed right next to him. And again, another brilliant piece of editing to be done so very quickly, because it actually looks pretty good. Certainly better than any of my editing skills. But yeah, I kind of wonder, is that not something that actually is in the movie? Like when we see Tom Holland Spider-Man landing on the head of the Statue of Liberty, are we going to get to the movie and see exactly that? The other two Spider-Man land right behind him. There's just so many questions. And you see Doc Ock. Also, the timing of some of this stuff is something that I question a lot. Because you see in this picture right here, Doc Ock has been trapped somehow by Doctor Strange. That's why he's in this weird magical cell right here. I'm guessing is what that is, somewhere in the basement of this.
When they were talking to him, yeah.
Yeah.
They're interrogating him a little bit.
So I'm wondering, at what point does he actually get a piece of that nanotech? Because...
Well, it looks a little red there in that shot. I don't know. Maybe he... Because it looked like it was the middle of the day, like when he had that shit. It looked like he was still on the bridge. Maybe they had that fight initially, and then maybe he got part of it, and then they were like, whoa, we need to stop this guy. Hold on. Lock him up.
Well, I don't yet know what, but that box that they're fighting over, that Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are fighting over in that one part, I've read that's what is keeping Doctor Octopus that is some piece of magic that you put together to keep these guys kind of locked up in the Sanctum Sanctorum. So it's not like bars that are keeping him in there. It's some kind of spell. That the power of that spell rests in that box. So I think
maybe he's holding on to it. Yeah, maybe he's holding on to it. Strange is, and then maybe this is like a build up to where he's like, no, we need his help. And Peter's like, I'm gonna go fucking get him out. Like it or not, we need this guy. And Strange is probably like, no, hold the fuck on. We're gonna hold this dude and we're gonna put him back. Or we need to do, set it right. And maybe Peter thinks he could be a help. I don't know. That would make sense then if he's gonna try and run off with it.
Yeah, there was a couple other. Dude, that's the look right there for Electro. I love that shit.
Oh god, I'm like, that's so much better.
You're able to like. I love how they kind of gave him that crown made of electricity thing, so you have the look and the shape of the comic book character, but it's practical in what would actually exist in the world. It makes more sense. I love that, and of course, I mean, look, and one of the things I found interesting is when you can hear that voiceover from Willem Dafoe. He's basically breaking down what every Spider-Man that we have seen so far on film is dealing with. From Tobey Maguire's to Andrew Garfield's, now to a very large extent Tom Holland's, is that he says you're trying to hold on to everything, but the world's trying to make you choose. And that kind of leads to this. And there is this one scene in the trailer where he's talking to, I'm pretty sure it's Aunt May that he's talking to. He says, I can't save everybody. That leads me to believe one thing, and maybe that's the moment where he realizes that he's probably going to have to let these guys go back to their death. Or B, that might be the big reveal that there is going to be a rather important death in this film. And because honestly,
Mary Jane dies.
I don't think that
everybody.
I feel like not everybody can make it out of this film alive because they've said that it's brutal. They've said it's very dark. They've said that this felt like a finale for the character and for the franchise. All that to me leads to somebody dying. Well, not just one of the bad guys, but one of the big characters. I mean, who do you think might be biting the dust in this movie at some point?
It could be Mary Jane, because I mean that's also a trope where it's like, yeah, well, you date Spider-Man, you gonna die, or you're gonna be in some sort of fucking danger. Why he took her on top of this? Hey, I'm gonna take her on top of this big scaffolding or this tower, this bridge, dude. You fucking idiot! Take her somewhere else. God damn.
Take her out to a nice seafood dinner. And
right?
Take
why?
Her to the top of shit where she can fall off of.
Right? Why are you trying to be, dude? Just gotta be smart about this. Holy crap! She'll still be there. Like she ain't go anywhere. So, like I don't know. Yeah, I could say her. Or I don't know why I keep seeing like that little. There's a little snippet of like you see Happy like in a car and it looks like there's a bunch of lasers on. Like there's people with guns drawn on him or some shit. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on with that? He looks kind of like concerned. I'm like, oh no, please don't kill John Favreau. Don't want that. Because I feel like again, we also have this connection to this I guess empathy for Doc Ock and especially Alvin Merlina. I would hate to see him fucking go because I know we already watched that once in the second movie. But. Well, it's like when I watched. Speaking of fucking John Favreau, it's like when I watched Lion King again. I was like, oh cool, I have to see Mufasa die in HD this time. Fuck, damn it, I don't want to watch that again.
You get to cry more, better defined tears on television.
Right? Yeah, you see the fucking salt in my tears as it goes down. It glisten. I don't know.
That does give me a question. Look, Sony has wanted to do the Sinister Six storyline. They've tried to do it. Two or three times now, and they haven't been able to get there. They were obviously setting that up for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. If you remember the post-credit scene from his last film.
Oh, I remember. They walked down the thing, and they're like, oh, there's Vulture, there's Rhino, there's all that. That's never going to happen.
They may as well have had a big title card in neon that said, Sinister Six coming soon. But that's something they were definitely...
Oh, no. You've seen Airplane. That's when you cut to the William Shatner. that's exactly what they'll be expecting us to do. And then it never fucking happens.
It never happens.
Yeah.
But it does raise the question: is this really a setup for the Sinister Six? Because you have to assume that Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, Sandman, and Green Goblin are all going to have to go back to their time at some point in this movie, or die, one of the two. So I mean, there's 3 of the Sinister Six.
Hey, what if you make this Spider-Man kill him? Because I'm like, man, I don't think he seems like the kind of Spider-Man who'd do that. I'm like, that might have to happen.
And Lizard, don't forget Lizard. It's like so there's 4. There's 4 of the Sinister Six that already aren't here.
Post credit scene, you just see a pair of wings. That's fucking Vulture.
That's interesting. You mentioned that actually. Did you happen to catch last night on? I know nobody watches Jimmy Kimmel much anymore, but it did just so happen to have Michael Keaton on there.
Right.
And he was saying that tomorrow, meaning today, as in maybe even at this very moment as we speak on a soundstage somewhere in California, that he was shooting some Vulture stuff.
Yeah, because I'm like, wasn't he supposed to do
But
this?
did not say for what project. I doubt it's for this movie. I think this movie's been in the can for a couple of months. I think
if we just see a little green feather just kind of float down like it's fucking Forrest Gump or some shit and comes down there, I'm gonna be like,
I doubt it's for this movie. But what's coming up next? I mean, could it be for maybe Doctor Strange 2?
Maybe.
Could it be for Morbius?
Oh, that's true. That's a whole fucking. That's a whole thing to talk about too.
They have plenty of time to do a couple of reshoots and add-ons for Morbius. That doesn't come out until March, so we're looking at 5-6 months. It's going to be a couple months before that film's officially in the can.
Yeah.
I mean, what's coming up that I think it'll be if he is in this. This movie specifically is not going to set up a lot of stuff for Marvel. It's going to set up a lot of stuff for Sony.
Wait a minute. Yeah, because he was. I was trying to think like, where did I just see Michael Keaton? Not for Batman. I was like, it was something else. I'm like, wait, yeah, wasn't it Mobius?
He's in the Mobius trailers.
So, what does that mean? Well, could that be?
We don't know yet. We'll know
because we do see Oscorp in that thing, right? We saw there's a thing of Spider-Man where it says like murderer or something. Oh, is that it? Did they all of a sudden label him murderer because they probably saw him like murder one of these fucking villains? They're spray tagging shit. Because I remember one of them being like a spray tag on a wall that has like Spider-Man and it's like murderer. I was like, oh fuck. This is gonna get messed up real fast.
Yeah, so one of the questions is what could he be filming Vulture scenes for? Again, I don't think it's this movie. I think this movie's in the can. It's done. Could it be for Morbius? Yeah. Could it be for Doctor Strange 2, which is still in principal photography? Could it? Now that they're not already in production on another Venom movie, they can't be.
Nah, it'd be too soon for that. I just came out.
I don't know what else they have coming up that's specific for this Spider-Man universe. It's got to be for one of those two things.
Because I don't know what else. I mean, it's not for Batman. I know that.
You know what? Honestly, I think Morbius makes the most sense because I think this movie is going to do a look. We all know that the deal is going to be ending between Disney, Marvel, and Sony soon to have this version of Spider-Man in the MCU. He's leaving for at least a little while. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of MCU stuff to set up in this film. I think all the big setups, the big reveals that are going to lead to stuff down the line are going to be specifically for Spider-Man and the Spider-Man cinematic universe that they're building. So I would imagine that if he's doing any reshoots right now, it has to be for Morbius. It has to be reshoots or add-on for Morbius. Could potentially be Doctor Strange 2. Because again, and I don't know how this is working out because I haven't really thought about it for a long time, but WandaVision, Spider-Man 3, and Doctor Strange 2 were supposed to be kind of like the first, second, and third act in this thing. I don't know if they're still going after it that way, but I mean, that's a whole lot to kind of put together.
Also, Loki got this whole multiverse crap going on too.
True. I don't know how they're going to work that in though, because before we even got to Loki, they were saying that these three projects were kind of intertwined as like a first, second, and third act. A bigger thing. They didn't mention Loki in there, and Loki had already been written and everything. I think it even probably started filming at that point.
Yeah, I mean this whole multiverse collapsing in on its fucking self for all sorts of fucking reasons. Apparently, I'm sure it has to do with something. It all has something to do with all this going on. Because it seems like this whole thing with Loki that well, technically it's Sylvie's fault, and boom, there goes. I know there goes the timeline with that. You heard something at the end of WandaVision. She heard the kids, and you're kind of like, wait, those weren't real. What the fuck? Why am I hearing my kids? That could be part of it. You got Doctor Strange now doing this thing where he's just gonna blame Peter for everything, and I don't know. Yeah, and now we have this whole multiverse problem on our fucking hands. So
Yeah, there's so many so many answers still after all this, or so many questions still after all this, and not nearly as many answers as we'd like to have. Now, and again, something that we have to discuss really is the things that we didn't see in all this is we did not get the actual reveal of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I am really really surprised that we did not get that.
I'm not because I'm like seriously. You wouldn't want to just. I know we're all thinking it, and we're all hoping, and we could believe they're in there, but I'm like, I would not want to blow that big fucking surprise. Because then up to now, then people are just gonna go like that's your, would it not be awesome just that you're in the theater, you're watching it, you see it happen, instead of going into the theater and you're like, oh well, no, it's gonna happen. It doesn't hit the same way knowing it beforehand. Like I'm fine with it not being in there because I want to actually genuinely be like, maybe I'll be in a YouTube video where you hear me fucking like scream some shit out like, oh, where's the red Parker? I don't know, shit like that.
What a lot of people were saying. It's like, do you remember when the big trailer for Endgame came out? The trailer ended with pre-sale tickets on sale right now. And then basically like Fandango and like all the like the Regal and the Cinemark and the AMC websites all crashed because everybody was trying to go online and buy tickets like right then and there. A lot of people thought that what was going to happen was they were going to, in this particular trailer, they were going to have the big reveal. They were going to have that moment where Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield pop in, and you get that one scene of them and Tom Holland pointing at each other like the meme,
like that Spider-Man meme. They're all like.
They're like, you, what?
Yeah.
And then
if you guys don't do that in the fucking movie, I'm walking out.
And that
God damn it, do it for the meme.
And that the trailer was going to end with Spider-Man tickets on sale now, and then everybody was going to run to their computer to go secure their spot for opening night.
Right.
But it didn't. Instead, they said tickets go on sale on the, what did they say, the
29th.
29th. So now everybody's thinking that there's going to be another trailer.
On the 29th, I know.
On the 29th, saying, or like the night of the 28th. Like the 28th, that's going to have the big reveal. It's going to be the final trailer. Because remember, three trailers is kind of the rule of thumb for these big things. Is they come out the one big first trailer that's got like all the visuals and stuff that they make your nerd boner get hard about. And then the second trailer comes
makes your Peter tickles.
Yeah, it comes out a lot. The second trailer comes out like this one. It gives you a couple more visuals. It gives you a little bit more of the story and the plot. Things like that, and then that usually there's a third trailer.
Maybe that is the setup. I don't know.
Big one that is. It's like, okay, here's the full plot, not the plot, but here's the idea behind the movie. Here's all the great visuals. Tickets on sale now, and
go.
That's what, yeah. So I think what's going to happen is we're like most people have been saying online is there's going to be another trailer that pops on the 28th. And it's going to have the big reveal. There's going to be probably one or two. There's probably going to be one more big reveal that they're going to give us. Maybe that's going to be where they actually show Venom swinging into a scene somewhere. And then that trailer is going to end. Tickets on sale midnight tonight, bitches. Go get your tickets. And then at midnight,
good luck.
And then at midnight, the internet's going to break for about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's 28th is a Sunday, which is going to be a weird day for that. And then Monday's the 29th.
Like releasing on a Tuesday in the middle of the week for this trailer made any sense? I mean, they release whatever they want.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's weird. I'm just saying that's the Sunday. That's all right. And then Monday would be your when the tickets go on sale, right? I don't know.
Yeah, all I know is I'm heavily thinking about taking that night off so that we can go see the movie and then run right to the internet, get right on screen, and go talking about the movie. I'm heavily thinking about it. It's gonna be that's gonna be a very busy week for me because we're actually going to Texas.
That's a Friday, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to Texas on the 7th. We're gonna be in Texas till the 11th.
Woo!
I come back the 11th, and then we're going to Texas for a long weekend. I come back the 11th. I have me and my son are going to see the Niners play on the 12th, the day after I get back, and then right now scheduled is the next anime show for you guys.
Well,
and then the next day, 2 days later is opening day. But in reality, we know there's going to be Thursday showings of Spider-Man, and then basically the next day, Spider-Man's going to drop in theaters. So I don't know. There's some schedule finagling to do in there to make sure that we can go see that fairly early in its run.
We better hold on to your balls too, because the next week is the fucking Matrix.
Next week is the Matrix, and
then Bug of Boba Fett the week after that. Holy fuck!
And then at some point in the next week, I really want to do a Ghostbusters Afterlife review, but I don't want to do a show on Thursday because that's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. I know. Well, also, doesn't the Hawkeye series come out next week too? The
Hawkeye series is getting ready to drop because they're dropping all kinds of first looks at that. So that series is getting ready to drop. So there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about coming up.
Yeah, I was gonna say next week may not. That's Thanksgiving Day. May just maybe not do something on that one. And I had that day off too. So.
Yeah, we're probably not going to have a show next Thursday. Just for those of you
that's fine.
That's probably not going to happen. I mean, I may pop on here late at night if I'm home because I would imagine I'll be home in time to do something like 9 or 10 o'clock, but it may be something small by myself. So I mean, next Thursday there's not going to be a whole lot of time in the next week to do a lot of this stuff. So we definitely have some schedule thinking to do.
I mean, we could. I mean. If we don't whenever we schedule next, we can do it because there's a mild gap there between that and Spider-Man. We could say like, hey, do a thing about the episode of Hawkeye and then talk about Ghostbusters. It wouldn't be too bad of a fill for having all that time off. I don't know.
I had started to write down some other thoughts that I had about Spider-Man, but then I got pulled away and I don't think I ever completed them in my show notes. But, another thing to take into consideration with this is one of the things that was going to be kind of a main topic today, but I wanted to concentrate on the Spider-Man talk, was they're going in for what are said to be extensive reshoots for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That's one of the reasons I wanted to bring up that whole thing about Michael Keaton, because I was like, well, he said he's going to be doing some Vulture stuff today, and it was in the news the last couple of days that they're doing what they call extensive reshoots for Doctor Strange. So is he doing something for Doctor Strange? Is it Morbius? I don't know. Could be either. Go away. But there's a whole lot going on with this. Let me go take care of this real quick. But I don't know. Any other thoughts? I mean, how do you think this is going to play into some of the stuff moving forward?
Well, this is going to be the first big, I guess, literally a blow up of this multiverse coming to a head here. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, Doctor Strange plays a pretty decent part in this, but I'm sure when we get his movie, there'll be a little more, maybe a little more that we'll see into it, because it's not just this that's going on with this multiverse just going out of whack. So this is kind of big. This is the first stone in the pond, I guess, so to speak. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
I'm sorry, I was taking care of something in the chat.
I want to keep going, but I want to say something real subtle. I'm like, please take care of that. You got it.
That's why I was trying to get you to talk.
You see me like you were like, hey, what do you think? I'm like, reading, cool, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's crazy. It's Spider-Man, yeah, Rent. I don't. Yeah, you got. No, I was watching. But I meant what I said. This is gonna be the first ripple in the fucking pond, like I said, of this whole multiverse going out of fucking whack.
But yeah, you've got the
fun.
You got the reshoots. You've got the potential for Michael Keaton filming something else. The real Cody just says Tom Holland's not bad. Just like Tobey Maguire better. He has better.
It's nostalgia.
Yeah, look. Don't forget, there was a span of about 5 or 6 years that Spider-Man was the best comic book movie that had ever been made.
That was the first really good one.
Better than the original Christopher Reeve Superman, which I'm granted kind of generationally there was a big difference, but I mean, yeah, better than the Christopher Reeve Supermans.
It was in that same aspect that was like, oh my, holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, up until X-Men came out, the first X-Men movie.
That's 2000, yeah.
Yeah. So right about then, those two were the high water mark for comic book movies, and that was before Marvel came along. So for about 10 years, I mean, it was Spider-Man and the first X-Men. They were great comic book movies.
And then we awkwardly had that Hulk movie that we don't talk about.
The first one wasn't great. It was fun to watch.
With Eric Bana? Yeah, it was not
fun to watch, but it wasn't great.
I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god! But it was bad.
Yeah, the second one that is technically part of the MCU, but kind of not part of the MCU.
Fantastic Four?
That one... No, the second Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
That is technically part of the MCU because the role that Mark Ruffalo plays is that role.
That come out before? Wait a minute. Well, Iron Man was 2008. When did that come out?
Oh, I forget.
Was it before that?
Before 2008? I don't know off the top of my head.
It had to be really close then. Oh.
But so yeah, I mean this. Look, I'm just excited. It's like hey, you know what's interesting though is I was reminded in watching another streamer the other day. You know what the first movie that Kevin Feige was an executive producer on? The first X-Men movie.
Huh.
So this guy goes back to the beginning, and he was a part of that movie and what made it great. And he's been carrying a lot of this stuff over to putting together this stuff in the MCU, including, even though I know this is mostly a Sony property, but you got to be honest. I mean, he's had a huge role in developing the Spider-Man that we see in Tom Holland. He's brought that expertise over, and has helped create not just Spider-Man, but this entire awesome universe that we've been enjoying now for what seems to be like 100 films in 200 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really fucking stoked. But I mean, any final thoughts before we kind of get to the point where we start to wrap this up, Jeremy?
No, I'm with you. I'm in that. I'm on the multiple hype trains and the whatever that shit is going on. I don't know. I thought maybe it was supposed to be like a joke towards the. I mean, you can't lie. In that second Spider-Man movie, with Doc Ock and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fighting on the fucking like subway train, that is like one of the coolest goddamn things you've ever seen.
That is one of the coolest action scenes in a comic book movie ever.
That's what I'm saying. That shit was wild. Yeah. I thought maybe that was a callback to it in a weird way. I don't know. I'm hoping, but hey.
Yeah.
No, I'm on that hype train. That train. All the trains.
I'm on all those trains, especially the ones.
Yes, all the multiverse trains.
But before we get going here, I don't know what else we can say about Spider-Man other than it's just time for this damn movie to come out. I want to see it. I'm ready. I don't want to waste any more time with trailers anymore. Just bring me this damn movie. I'm ready to go. But yeah, that's my guess, is that we're going to get another Spider-Man trailer. It's going to come on the 28th, and after that trailer's over, there's going to be the final, where they're going to have both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in that trailer, and when they do, then
sorry, I'm fucking around.
And honestly, I think that might even be the trailer where we see Venom. I mean, at this point, if you're going to go ahead and throw the big reveal about the other two Spider-Men in there, you may as well throw a Venom reveal in there too, because I don't think there's any way that you don't have him in this movie. It's in some way, shape, or form. So you may as well throw a Venom reveal in there too. I mean, because that, as John Campy has had fun saying the last couple of days about this trailer, that won't sell a lot of tickets. That will sell all the tickets. It's like, because look, what do I find really funny? Maybe it's just the area that we live in that is kind of weird about that. It's like for movies like Star Wars and the MCU movies and stuff, for opening day, I can always find a ticket to a showing somewhere within 20 minutes of where I live. I mean, because Jeremy, where we are, there's there's what 2-3 movie theaters that we visit pretty regularly. That for our movie going needs, and I can always find decent seats. Opening day or opening weekend for almost all these big movies. This is the one where I'm like, if you actually give us the big reveal of the other Spider-Mans, a Venom, a shot of Venom somewhere in the movie, that might be the one where I'm like, I think I need to go on there right now and buy my tickets because I don't know if I'll be able to get them the first weekend. Like I'm gonna have to be on it on the 28th, 29th. I'm gonna be watching. Yeah, so that's one that's what we're gonna have to look out for. But before we cut out of here, I have been slacking really, really badly on the giveaway for the last couple of months because I have been terribly busy and kind of just drawn everywhere. But tonight, I'm going to make it all up to you guys. There are 4 people on the Patreon. Thank you so much, by the way, to Casey is Raw, to my lovely woman Jennifer, to Lady Cora, and to Gatekeeper Drew for being Patreons. You can also, and let me go ahead and do the quick plug real quick that I didn't get around to working into my stuff earlier. If you join the Patreon for just $5 a month, you support the channel, and you get a chance to win $25 a month in free movie tickets that we give away. Again, I've been really bad about it lately, so tonight I'm giving away 50. Because of the generosity of a couple of viewers, most notably Sith Negan for being so awesome. I'm going to step that up in the next couple of weeks and give some stuff away and get you guys out to the theater. Again, theaters are open. We're starting to get these great movies out. Spider-Man's coming. Ghostbusters starts really tonight. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out now. Dune has been out in theaters. Go see Dune. We need to get back in the theaters. We need to start supporting the people that work at the box office, at the concession stand, all these people that depend on these movie theaters as a place of employment, not the motion picture companies. Sure, I want to support them too, but we need to get out there and start getting these people and helping them out in the theaters. They really, really took it on the chin throughout the course of this pandemic, so we really have to come out for them now that the opportunity is there. Also, don't forget that we do have a Discord. The Discord's up all the time. We can keep the movie talk going in between live streams, in between videos. There's going to be a lot of spoiler stuff on there, different sections for different shows, as you can see on there, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. Probably more stuff that's going to be coming on down the pipeline as we get more and more into all this crazy stuff that's being released now. But until then, let's go ahead and give away $50, and I'll give away another $50 next week. So get on the Patreon. You will get a chance to get $50 in free movie tickets. And let me jump over to this thing right here and give it a spin. And what do you want to bet it's going to land on Jennifer again? Every time it lands on Jennifer, I just want to put my fist through the TV. Gatekeeper Drew, it's not Jennifer. Yay! Gatekeeper Drew wins $50 in free movie tickets. Thank you so much, Gatekeeper Drew, for being one of the Patreon supporters. We very much appreciate it. Again, when Jennifer wins, it annoys me. I pay for her movie tickets anyway. Maybe I should be rooting for her from now on. That makes sense since I pay for movie tickets anyway. Yeah. But, Jeremy, as we get out of here, again, any final thoughts on any of the stuff that we've talked about tonight? The 2 main topics that we had, especially the Spider-Man thing.
Well, it's on my sign. I said it. I'm too old for this damn lethal weapon shit. I don't know. I'm not like not excited for it, but I'm also kind of like it's that little. It's a little cyst in the back of my fucking brain where I'm like, stop making fucking movies like that. God damn it. Yeah, should be great. Spider-Man, yeah, sorry. That was my convoluted way of saying that. Spider-Man, yeah, I'm with you. Holy shit, just release the damn movie. I'd pay to watch it fucking tonight. Like, I want to see what is about to happen because it is going to be a lot. We're going to have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah, for me, I am very confident in the way this whole lethal weapon thing is shaping up. Because if it can't be Richard Donner, then why not Mel Gibson? He's already proven himself as a director. He's a part of this franchise from the beginning. Him and Danny Glover have always had a good relationship. You bring back a couple people from the history of the thing. Joe Pesci doesn't have to come back for this movie to be good. Remember, they put out a good movie before Joe Pesci was around. So yeah, he doesn't have to come. I would like to see him come back. So Joe Pesci, if you're watching this, I doubt you are. I would like to see you pop into the movie and do your whole shtick. Okay. As annoying as I thought it was at first, it kind of grew on me. So I would love to see Joe Pesci come back. But I mean, for the most part, I think they can tell a cool story, not only around whatever crime they're trying to stop, but also about them being old and maybe both of them retiring and moving on from being police officers. He's gonna say it.
He's gonna say it at some point, I'm too old for this shit.
I think both of them are going to say it at some point. I think it's probably going to be the closing line of the movie. It's like somebody's going to say, "Hey, do you guys want to be promoted?" They're going to be like, "No, we're too old for this shit." And then they're
fist bump, and that's it. Yeah, that's
gonna be it. And then they walk away to the sunset. That's a perfect.
Yes.
I do, however, I do want this to be an ending. I don't want them to set up for another like 6, 7, 8, where these guys are going to be 90 years old and chasing down bad guys in L.A. That wouldn't work for me at all. But as far as the Spider-Man stuff is concerned, I'm kind of with Jeremy. Just give me the damn movie. I honestly, I don't even need another trailer that gives us a big reveal of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back. I'm going to enjoy it, and it's going to make me freak out, and I'm going to of course, I'm going to do some kind of a review for YouTube because I'm a whore for views. But at the same time, I just sorry, some breaking news just came across from the entertainment portal, but it's something about soap opera, so I don't really care. But yeah, I'm just into it. I'm excited. Bring it on. I'm interested to see more than anything else. Look, we're all getting bent on who's going to be in this movie, who's not going to be in this movie. This movie is going to do one thing for sure. It's going to start to pull Spider-Man away from the MCU. Look, the whole reason they signed this deal for one more Spider-Man movie and for 2 more appearances in the MCU, because they want to have a clean break, is they pull Spider-Man back from Marvel, and Sony does their own thing and starts their own Spider-Man cinematic universe. That's what this movie is going to do a lot of, and it's not something that you can quantify in a trailer. A lot of this movie is going to be about Spider-Man going his own way, away from the Avengers, away from Marvel, and doing his own thing. And that's something a lot of people are it's getting lost in these trailers because we're so wrapped up in the visuals. You see right there, Jamie Foxx is Electro, and all this stuff is going to be happening in the movie. A lot of people are kind of losing the fact that this is the swan song, apparently, for Spider-Man in the MCU. He's going to be moving on to something different from now on. It's not going to be under the flag of Marvel, or not under the flag of Disney Marvel, shall I say. It's always going to be under the Marvel flag, but it's not going to be Disney Marvel. This MCU that we've come to know over the last 10, 12 years and 26 or 27 movies, he's not going to be a part of that for at least the near future. I personally think he's going to come back into the fold at some point. I think it's too lucrative a partnership for both of them, not for one of them not to say, hey, why don't we get back into doing this shit again? But that's just me. But yeah, I'm 100% ready to see this movie. Again, I don't need another trailer. Just start it right now. Let's go.
This is about to be a really dark, because this is going to get real. It's going to be a really dark tone Spider-Man. We can just start calling him Peter Darker.
Well,
that's Buzzinger. Thank you. Mic drop.
I need to get one of those soundboards where every time you make some reference like that, I can hit it.
Oh God! Don't give us a soundboard. It's going to get obnoxious.
But yeah,
boy.
Look, he's already described this movie as brutal, as dark, and as more of a finale. So look, I know it's the Marvel fake death universe, so I think anybody who may or may not die in this movie is going to come back anyway. But yeah, JCS Foot Rub says, I hope Iron Man makes an appearance. No, I don't think they're ready to bring him back yet, even though I think they eventually will. But I have noticed just kind of the look of all this, that role of mentor has been taken over very much by Doctor Strange, where in the first Spider-Man movie it was Tony Stark.
Oh, I thought he kind of took over there for a second when he died.
Well, I mean, yeah, Happy kind of takes over. I think a lot of that was just I think that was the first step of showing how the character should deal with the aftermath of the snap. And we saw another stage of that in WandaVision. We saw another stage of that in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, I love what Marvel's done, kind of approaching everybody coming back. I think it was brilliant for them to tell those stories from those angles. Because, I mean, I know we all think, like, Bruce snaps his finger, everybody comes back, and everybody's happy. But, I mean, realistically, that would be a huge problem.
Yeah.
And I love how they've used WandaVision and these other programs to kind of approach that from different angles. It's not just, Wanda dealing with it all, but it's like, how does this town deal with it all? How does, Maria Rambeau deal with it all? How does everybody deal with it all, from a world perspective in Falcon and Winter Soldier? I love how they've done that. But
it's like, I know you guys mean well, but it's like, I don't think you quite get that. That's not as simple as just bringing everybody back. It's gonna cause some fucking issues. Like,
big time.
I don't know. They do mention that in the President Loki series. Is that like one of the first things? It's like Iron Man up on stage, he's doing a press conference or fucking whatever, and they're all like, "Hey, Like, we understand, it's like, say, the Battle of New York. So, like, hey, we understand that, we got the shit taken care of, but now we got to take care of you because this shit got wrecked. So,
Yeah.
we got you guys. I'm like, oh, good. At least you cleaned up your fucking mess. Like, goddamn. You don't think about the after. Like, yeah, we stopped Ultron. Woo! But you fucking wrecked half the borough of New York City, and everyone's displaced now. They don't have homes. And now they're all pissed off. So, they're like, hey, cool. That's how it all ties in. There's this guy who's he's supposed to be the political contender, and they're like, here, give him all this money, and of course he took some of that money and didn't put all of it towards what he was supposed to, and they're like, hey, this guy's shady. So that's why Loki steps in and he's like, hey, at least I'll lie right to your face. That's the whole basis of it. I think you'd like it. It's only four issues. It's actually kind of interesting.
I've been wanting to get into collecting a few. I would like to have the Adamantium series, to be absolutely honest. I've kind of flipped through that over the years. I'd like to have the actual books here too.
Yeah, I mean, like this is an app on my phone. You just flip through it, but like
I want the actual
having
books.
the actual.
I still like the paper.
I know. Stan Lee said it. He's like, yeah, it's like boobs. They look great on the screen, but I'd rather hold one in my hand.
No doubt.
You stay golden. You stay golden, man.
Stay golden. But that's a good place to wrap it up. You guys make sure you go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys want from Spider-Man, what you think of the concept of having Lethal Weapon 5. And Jeremy, where can the folks find you on the internet?
Well, you can always come abuse me on Twitter or come watch me suck at games on Twitch. Call of Duty Vanguard is out. Back 4 Blood is out. Star Wars doesn't come out till fucking spring. Even though it's supposed to be here this spring. But whatever. Delayed game's better than a rush game. So. Yeah, that's all I got.
As for me, you can find me here every Thursday. Probably not next Thursday. I might do a small stream late at night after I'm done with my Thanksgiving stuff. But for the most part, there will probably not be a show next Thursday. I will try to find some way to do something next week. What are you saying?
Well, no, I was going to say there may be something, because I guess we can drop this bomb. Tuesday is my birthday. So I'm actually going, and it's for all you movie fans, all fucking 3 of you watching, 2 of them are probably me. Actually, probably 3 of them are me. No. 2 of them. I'm actually going to the Shawshank Redemption prison and going on a tour, so maybe keep your eyes open. There might be something there. Get busy living, get busy dying.
So we may have a bit of a vlog thing coming from Jeremy about some of his birthday antics over the weekend.
I'm going to... I keep making a joke. I'm going to prison for my birthday. Yeah.
And what are you getting for a present for your birthday in prison? Do you want to talk about that?
It's just me. Hey, they said he'd never walk again. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
He's fucking eat his food out of a fucking straw.
No doubt. So maybe Jeremy takes some video and maybe we put it up here in vlog form, and you guys can see what Jeremy does for his birthday over the course of the weekend. Maybe that'll happen. But and Rachel's of course saying happy birthday to you in the chat.
Yes, thank you. You were going with me. That's the whole fucking point.
And make sure you guys blow Jeremy up on Saturday this weekend period for his birthday. You can find his Twitter and all his contact stuff is basically the same thing. It's all in the description below. You can find him anywhere through that. And as for me, you can find me here most every Thursday. You can find me over on the Derailed News and Podcast on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. And don't forget to go check out some of the other really, really cool people that we have linked in the description below. I'm going to be redoing some of the links, but all the people that are in there now are going to stay in there. Go check out guys like Alex and the Garbage Man, who I think is live right now. Go check out Night Watch and his great crew that just kills it talking about the horror stuff. They actually did a really cool breakdown of a movie that I haven't had a chance to watch yet. You know, Sylvester Stallone did a re-edit of Rocky IV, Rocky versus Drago. They actually did a really cool breakdown that I really enjoyed listening to. So go back and check out his channel. Those guys are killing it there as well. And that's all we got for tonight. I'm going to get out of here, and maybe, hopefully, I get out of here in time to go see Ghostbusters Afterlife at a showing tonight. If I do, you guys will be getting a short review of that later on tonight as well. So thank you to all you guys. Real Cody, who else was in here? A bunch of people in the beginning. Van Edwards, Casey was in here, pimping his channel out as well. Rachel, Emily K, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel tonight. We hope you like what you see. And Van Edwards, a bunch of people, Lorenzo214, one of the trolls that came in to decide to try to have some fun. Thank you for giving us a click and a little bit of watch time. We appreciate it, even though we know you're just a dick. And we will see you guys